Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny.
You know what time it is, so sit back and get ready for the Stafford Voice, your dose of conservative in a world of liberal.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, how you doing? I'm your host, Daniel Stafford, and you are listening to the Stafford Voice, where we are conservative in a world of liberal. Tonight, we're going to talk about the warm and open-armed welcome to Killwaukee. That's right, Killwaukee. Before we get into anything tonight, I want to remind you, there are many ways to listen. So, set this channel as a favorite, whatever you have to do so you don't get left behind. If for some strange, crazy reason you do miss the show, you'll be able to catch the replay, so just sit tight. There is absolutely no need to panic because I've got you. And in the case you aren't already following on social media, you can find me over on the Twitters at Stafford Voice, or on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Snapchats, wherever you are. Just search for the Stafford Voice and hey, we'll be there. Also, I'd like to thank you for listening and supporting the show. And please, by all means, please, let our affiliates know you're listening, whether it's at KLRN or KRNR or one of our other affiliates. Be sure to send them some love. And if you haven't done so, please join us over in the chat room at klrnradio.com/chat. I would tell you to take a look at things over at thestaffordvoice.com, but I spent all week last week while I was off taking a bit of a break because of birthdays. I was still working on the website. I'm still currently working on it. If you do jump over to the staffordvoice.com/listen live, you'll kind of get a preview of what to expect in the upcoming week or weeks. So please be patient. What I'm working on is something I've been trying to put together over the last year or so. I've wanted to do streaming video on top of the show, so that you can kind of get a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into doing the show. I've been really excited, and we're doing a lot of work on the back end to try and get things going. I've got some coding issues that I've been running into. So you'll notice that there's no chat room right now. You'll notice that there's like a video placeholder that you'll eventually be able to see video and watch me do the show live as you're listening to the show. I'm super excited. So that's what I've been working on. So be patient with things over there. For now, just join us over in the chat room, klrnradio.com/chat. So, how is everyone? You know, I'm questionable. I'm feeling good. I'm excited about things in the future coming up, but there are some things happening right now that are, for lack of a better word, very depressing. Why do I say that? Was it because another black man was gunned down by the police? Right? No, not really. Okay, facts. We like facts, right? And no, we need to throw those down. We just react and burn this darn thing. Burn the damn thing down. That's what we got to do. Just burn it the hell down. No. for now, we're going to stick to the facts, okay? So, what has happened in Killwaukee? This 23-year-old Sylville K. Smith was stopped by Milwaukee police officer, who we found out was black, or is black, at around 3:30 in the afternoon on Saturday, after the cop noticed Smith's car behaving in a suspicious manner. Now, Smith was carrying a stolen gun and 23 rounds of ammunition. He fled from a traffic stop. The officer shot him after he refused to drop the weapon, and that's according to the police chief, Ed Flynn. At a Sunday news conference, Flynn said, quote, "It was in his hand. He was raising it up. And after watching the officer's body camera footage, Flynn said the entire incident took about 25 seconds from the start of the traffic stop until shots were fired." He said Smith ran, quote, "a few dozen feet after being stopped and turned toward the officer while holding the gun." Well, immediate question that comes to mind, why did he have a gun in the first place? Well, according to his mother, he recently obtained his conceal and carry license after getting shot twice and robbed 4 times. Okay, I get it. But court records show that Smith had faced nearly a dozen other prior charges, mostly for nonviolent misdemeanors, like speeding and retail theft and marijuana possession, things that everybody has. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Well, if you dig a little deeper, you'll realize that he was convicted for carrying a concealed weapon, which is a misdemeanor, as records show, and Smith faced felony charges last year for a shooting and for intimidating a witness of the shooting. But those charges were dismissed. Smith is no stranger to firearms. At least one social media image of Smith shows him pointing a handgun with an extended magazine at the camera, while another picture on social media shows him holding a rifle. So you see, it's pretty obvious why the town erupted in riots, right? I mean, after all, thanks to social media, we were able to see pictures of Smith and see what he was doing, holding these handguns and rifles. But here's some audio with the town erupting in riots. Check this out.
If the white person, they white, get that Hurry that up! Hey! Hey, they beating up! Hey, they beating up every white person! They jumping every white person! Man, no white person come down Sherman. He white. Beat it. That's what it's for. Hey, look. White boy. They beating up every white person. They beat up every. They make the squad cars leave. They not. They beat somebody ass. Look, they beat somebody ass. Look. Look.
just beat up, bro. Now, see, this ain't in the play, but I think they just beat some bitch.
It's sad because, you know, this what happened.
Okay. I realize that audio may have been a little difficult to make out. Because after all, you know, they were all heated. Things got heated. Okay, and it's not because they were setting cars on fire. Okay, maybe it was because they were setting cars on fire. I don't know. I don't normally go out late at night and set things on fire just because I didn't get my way or because somebody died. I don't get it. Maybe it's white privilege. Who knows? You know, again, I don't understand. If you remember from a few weeks back, you know, thanks to, I can't really remember who it was that we featured on Who Said That, said that we need to take a moment and put ourselves in their shoes. We need to... Hillary Clinton has said before that we need to show compassion. We need to be compassionate towards these people. Let me just say this. They don't care about any of that. They don't. It's their way or the highway. In that audio I just played for you, they were targeting white people for no reason other than being white. What good does that do for an already heavily segregated town? What good does it do for an already divisive country? This political season is absolutely ridiculous. Because everywhere you turn, it's a class struggle. Blame Whitey. Blame the rich people. Because, after all, we need to target all the white people because a black cop shot a black man who ran from him and refused to drop a weapon that he was carrying. Seriously, the blame has to be placed somewhere. So why not put it on the white people? Hell, put it on the rich people. Here, listen to this. This is coming from a protester. These things are really beyond me. If you're in the chat room and after hearing this, I'm at a total loss. Check it.
It's sad because, you know, this what happened because they're not helping the black community. Like, you know, the rich people, they got all this money and they're not, like, you know, trying to give us none.
It's all these rich people and they ain't gonna give us none. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just going to let the man speak for himself. Set that aside. What about the family? You know, they're the ones who should be outraged, right? Not the entire community. I mean, there's an investigation going on because of this. As with every police shooting, anytime a police officer draws their weapon and discharges it, there's an investigation. Luckily, this cop had a body camera on. We haven't seen the footage. We don't know everything. As we reported earlier, just a few minutes ago, the police chief said that it lasted all of about 25 seconds. So what did the family have to say? I want to hear from them. Today, I don't remember if she said this today or if it was yesterday, but at least the sister of Smith called for this nonsense to stop. I mean, after all, she's the one that's got the level head in all of this, saying that it doesn't do any good at all. Pick up on the sarcasm wherever you feel after you hear what she had to say.
On everything. Tell his mama y'all sorry for her loss. Burning down ain't gonna help nothing. Y'all burning down we need in our community. Take that to the suburbs. Burn that down. We need our we need our weed. I don't wear it, but we need it.
None of that does good to the community. Take that to the suburbs and burn their stuff down. Don't burn down the stuff we need in our community. Don't burn down our weave. We need them. She doesn't wear a weave, but they need them. At what point do people start prioritizing things in their life? When we go out and start foaming at the mouth because somebody burned down a wig shop or whatever it was, and now people in the community are not going to be able to go out and get their weave on. Yeah, that's the ticket. Wrong-o! Of everything, it seems that the only one with a level head right now is his father. Because his father is taking the brunt of the responsibility, saying that this falls on him. Why? Look, his father, Patrick Smith, said, quote, "They're looking at their dad like, he's doing all these things. I just got out of jail probably 2 months ago, but I've been going back and forth in jail, and they see these things. So I'd like to apologize to my kids because this is the role model they look up to." When they see the wrong role model, this is what you get. Oh my God, where in the hell was this guy's brain years ago before he got in trouble? Where? No, we got to totally dismiss it. You can't have black parents accepting the blame for thugs. You just got to let thugs be thugs. I mean, thug lives matter, right? Black lives matter unless you're a black cop. This crap ticks me off. This is what is wrong with society. When we continue to promote ourselves instead of promoting the whole. I get absolutely sick and tired hearing all the talk and talking about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. I get sick of it. It's tiring. I would love to talk about more positive things. But nothing positive will ever come out of situations like what we witnessed in Killwaukee. 40% of the population in Milwaukee is black. Why in the hell does that even matter? Because when you look at the history of the leadership in Milwaukee, it's clear that socialist tendencies and Democrats who continue to pander to quote-unquote oppressed minorities, it's clear to see that that is the wrong direction. And I'm going to be completely honest. I sat here for at least 30 to 45 minutes prior to coming on air of what I was going to call this show. And I settled on something about Killwaukee. Because we've got serious problems, ladies and gentlemen. Serious problems. If you're in the chat room, let me highlight just one thing that just came across. I think it was G. No, it was at Ron D 1954 on Twitter. His screen name or whatever is King Ragnar the Bold. Anyway, he says, when welfare became generational, this is what should be expected. Exactly, spot on. They all knew this as the laws got passed. Exactly. And that's the game of the Democrats. You go back into history where whatever his name was, said that he's going to have them voting Democrat for years to come. And it's because we continue to pander to these quote-unquote oppressed minorities, and instead of promoting the idea of going out and getting a damn job and making something of yourself, oh, heavens to Betsy, we don't want to do that. No, because then you're going to be labeled an Uncle Tom. No, you don't want to make anything of yourself. No, you'd rather walk the streets, drink a 40, carry in a 9, and get shot by the cops for acting a fool. When all you do as a party promotes a boot on the head, obviously it's not a work boot because not a lot of Democrats are out there working right now. Hell, not even a lot of Republicans or conservatives or even liberals are working right now. That's a whole different show. But when we continue to promote welfare as a means to live, this is what you get. I could not agree any more with the comment that was said in the chat room. This is how you buy votes. Hillary Clinton is a prime example. Going out and doing as she's always done in the past, and playing the role. You guys remember a long time ago when she got up there on the quote-unquote pulpit and said something about how she ain't no ways tired? I can do voices too. I've shared many of them with you guys. Some of them suck. My Donald Trump, horrendous. Okay, listen, I'm going to say this once. I mean, look, I love myself. I love Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I've made Donald Trump great again, okay? Listen, but to be completely honest, Hillary Clinton, she's going to drag you down. She doesn't care about you. She only cares about herself. Me, I particularly care about you. I'm going to put you to work, okay? I've made working great again. My Donald Trump is horrendous. But it's far better than Hillary Clinton trying to play the black preacher voice because she ain't no ways tired. She only cares about one thing, getting your vote and sending you back down the road at the back of the bus. Once she gets your vote, that's it. It's the same reason that the Democrats continue to go out and promote the Latino vote. There was a story. Where was it? Oh, here it was. Fox News reported on this earlier today. Clinton campaign enlists undocumented, quote, dreamers for voter registration. They're going out. The Clinton campaign is going out and looking for these dreamers, people who came to this country illegally, but they have a dream, right? I mean, that's what this is all about. No, this is about doing things the right way. Democrats don't play that game. They don't do things the right way. But they want to go out and they want to focus on getting dreamers registered to vote. They're going to promise them the world. They're going to give them a safety net. You know, something to catch them if they fall. Never mind the fact that in the real world, if you fall, you pick yourself up. You go pull yourself up by the bootstraps and move on. And I realize that saying bootstraps and Democrats in the same phrase doesn't work. Democrats don't know what bootstraps are. They're afraid of them. We've got some major issues in this country. And for the most part, it starts in our own backyards. It starts because too many people are afraid to go out and talk. Too many people are afraid, based off the color of someone's skin, that they're going to get beat to hell. And in Milwaukee, that obviously is happening. We played that audio for you. We have got to fix ourselves before we go out and try and fix everyone else. I get it. This family is upset. They're hurt. They have pain. I get that. But at least one of them is recognizing his portion of the responsibility in the fact that his son was shot by a cop. Because he was the role model. He showed him the way to how to get to the big house. He taught him what it was like to be a thug. He taught him how to do it. It is extremely sad that in this day and age, this is something that we are talking about. And I'm just going to end that there. I could go on and talk about it even more, but I don't want to. It's just, we got to do something about it. And all it takes is showing a little bit of, it really does show a little bit of compassion and go out and talk to people. Try and understand their perspective. Teach them. Don't demote them, promote them. Give them the tools of knowledge. And that's what we're going to do when we come back from a break. Here on the Stafford Voice, I'm your host, Daniel Stafford. We'll be right back.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Nothing will protect you quite like your sidearm, so why not give it the protection it deserves? Something as strong as the Second Amendment and stands the test of time, and better yet, made in the USA. A Rebel Road Tactical Custom Kydex holster is that and more. Call now and place your order with Rebel Road Tactical at 682-217-4579. Again, 682-217-4579, or online at rebelroadtactical.com.
It's happening and nothing can stop it. It's the dramatic reinvention of Talk Radio.
Here come the spy dolphins.
The only thing that can cure racism is Robert E. Lee's penis.
Who named this cat Limberbutt McCubbin? A Trump-Biden debate.
Plugs versus rugs. Real serious nonsense. A show so bad you'll laugh at us.
The worst podcast. We obviously hold that title.
Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Some crowdfunding sites are too liberal and keep more for themselves. Even worse, if they don't like you or someone gets offended, they'll cancel your campaign. But not at RWNJ Funding. They hold true to conservative and libertarian values. Plus, they won't cave to the PC crowd. More importantly, they believe in you. RWNJFunding.com. The right cause, the right values, done right. RWNJFunding.com.
Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Conservative in a world of liberal.
The Stafford Voice.
And welcome back. All right, we're going to change things up because it's that time. You know, I can't tell you guys to go out and educate anybody if I'm not trying to educate any of you. And this, by far, is my favorite segment of the show. So let's dive into this week's Profiles in History. And this week, we're going to talk about Charles Carroll. Charles Carroll was born in Annapolis, Maryland on September 19, 1737. At the time of his birth, his parents were not married, partly due to a technical issue dealing with the inheritance of the Carroll family estates. His parents eventually married in 1757. If you wanted to call the Carroll family wealthy, you may be understating it somewhat. You see, although his name is Charles Carroll, he was often referred to as Charles Carroll III, or Charles Carroll of Carrollton. His father was Charles Carroll of Annapolis, and his grandfather was known as Charles Carroll the Settler, who was a descendant of the Lords of Ely in Kings County, Ireland. Now, as a boy, Charles was educated as a Jesuit at a Jesuit preparatory school named Bohemia Manor. And around the age of 11, he traveled to France with his father, where he continued his studies for roughly 6 years, and later finishing his studies in law in Europe. It was his time there where his father would officially marry Charles's mother and make him legal heir. At the age of 28, Carroll returned to Annapolis, where he would help run the family's operations. It was here where his father gave him the 10,000-acre estate called the Manor of Carrollton. In June 1768, he married Mary Molly Darnall. Unable to hold any political office because he was a Roman Catholic, Maryland's 1704 Act prevented Catholics from holding office, quote, to prevent the growth of popery in this province. Didn't keep Charles from voicing his opinions or from becoming one of the wealthiest men in Maryland. As things intensified between the colonies and Great Britain, Carroll began arguing in letters to a local newspaper, the Maryland Gazette, against the overreach of the royal authority. Writing under the pseudonym First Citizen, he debated that it was the colonies' right to control their own taxes. He was against the proclamation by the governor that increased legal fees to state officers and Protestant clergy, and most notable, that the government of Maryland had been monopolized by 4 families. After word spread of who First Citizen was, Charles Carroll's popularity increased. So much so that he served on some of the various committees of correspondence that were so important at the start of the American Revolution. There were 2 Tea Parties. The first and most famous was the Boston Tea Party. The second was in Annapolis, Maryland. As done so in Boston, the people of the area didn't allow the ship to unload its cargo of tea. As a member of the committee enforcing the boycott, Carroll's suggestion of burning the tea would be enough to not only honor the boycott, but satisfy the citizens still angry of how Boston was treated. The people, however, wanted more. Burning the tea wouldn't be enough. Ultimately, the ship's owner would apologize and set his ship, named Peggy Stewart, on fire in front of the large crowd on October 19, 1774, known today as Peggy Stewart Day. It was around this time that Charles would embrace the idea that the ultimate resolution of the problems between Great Britain and the colonies would be through violence. A member of Britain's Parliament wrote to Carroll that 6,000 British soldiers could put down any opposition. And Carroll replied that may be true to an extent, but, quote, "If we are beaten on the plains, we will retreat to our mountains and defy them. Necessity will force us to exertion until tired of combating in vain against a spirit which victory after victory cannot subdue. Your armies will evacuate our soil, and your country retire, an immense loser from the contest. No, sire, we have made up our minds to abide the issue of the approaching struggle, and though much blood may be spilt, we have no doubt of ultimate success," unquote. In February 1776, the Continental Congress appointed Charles Carroll, who was not a member of Congress but was fluent in French and a Roman Catholic, to go to Canada to encourage them to join them in the struggle against Britain. He was joined by Benjamin Franklin, Samuel Chase, and his cousin John Carroll. Although the mission wasn't a success, when he returned in June 1776, Carroll found that Congress was debating independence, but that Maryland's delegates were instructed to oppose it. This did not sit well with him, so he hurried back to Annapolis to lobby the provincial convention to allow the delegates to unite with the other colonies for independence. He was successful, and on July 2nd, Maryland's delegates voted in favor for independence, and on July 4th, they approved the Declaration of Independence. That very same day, Charles was elected to the Continental Congress, where he would remain a delegate until 1778. Unfortunately, he arrived too late to vote himself in favor of the Declaration of Independence. On August 2nd, when the delegates were signing the official handwritten copy, John Hancock asked Carroll if he wanted to sign it, even though he wasn't there when it was adopted. He responded, quote, "most willingly to record to this record of glory." It's said that as he signed the document, another delegate was overheard, recognizing Carroll's wealth and risk, saying, "There goes a few million." Charles Carroll was the only Roman Catholic among the signers. He was re-elected to the Continental Congress in 1780, but declined to serve. Instead, he would serve in the Maryland State Senate, where he would be until 1800. While in service, he helped draft the Maryland State Constitution, where he was particularly interested that it include a provision on the freedom of religion. And before the official end of the war in 1782, his wife, Molly, died. Leaving political life in 1801, he devoted himself to managing his estates, which comprised 80,000 acres stretching across Maryland, Pennsylvania, and New York. Now, at the ripe age of 91, in 1828, Charles helped establish the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Company. As the last surviving signer of the Declaration of Independence on November 14th, 1832, Charles Carroll of Carrollton passed away at the age of 95. At his passing, the federal government closed down for a day in his honor. And that is this week's Profiles in History. I don't know about you, but I love spending hours researching the signers of the Declaration of Independence and putting this together. I know that based on, at least that's what's being said, when I've asked in the past that during the chat, in the chat room, while we do the profiles in history, the chat room basically goes silent. It goes dead. I don't know if I bore them to death. They all say no, it's because they're intently listening, and I want to thank you for that, because I put a lot of time and effort into researching these people. Just like Ann, who's our admin tonight in the chat room, it's fascinating to me as well. I think we've forgotten a lot of where this country got its start. I think it's extremely important to know our own history. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to know where we need to take things. Extremely fascinating. I think it's extremely important as well. So, you know what? We're going to take... I'm looking at the time, and I'm realizing we're running a little short. So, we're going to take one quick break, and when we come back, it'll be time for Who Said That? I am your host, Daniel Stafford. This is the Stafford Voice, where we are conservative in a world of liberal. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
This is JD.
And this is Stacy.
Join us Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern for Game On. Remember,
lock up the children and the old folks.
Game On, the home of liberservative conservatism.
Where no one is safe and no one is spared. Not even the hosts.
Oh, that was supposed to be a spin cycle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We love you anyway. Right round, baby.
Self-monitoring
right
Ebola
anyway.
radio strikes again.
Anyway.
Anybody see the host monkey?
Today.
Where's the host monkey? Where's the host monkey? For God's sake, I need an antidote. Just do your rant. Let's pop out of the segment.
Has to do with
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Conservative in a world of liberal.
The Stafford Voice.
Okay, we're back, and, judging... Where did my mouse go? Here it is. Judging by the time, yes, we've got time. We're going to fit it in. It's time for Who Said That? All right, if you're new to the show and you're wondering what is Who Said That, it's pretty simple. Somebody, regardless of whether it's a Republican, a Democrat, a liberal, or a conservative, or anyone trying to masquerade as any one of the said above, if you are caught saying something beyond stupid, something that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are stuck on stupid, well, we may just call you out and have fun at your expense. And this week, this individual could have made the list so many weeks in a row. However, this particular week, this person rose to the top. We honestly need to give it a round of applause. Okay, listen, she's making things great again. Making up facts is great again, thanks to her, okay? I'm not going to say she screwed up, but she screwed up, okay? It happens. Without further ado, here is a lengthy but well worth Who Said That?
So I said, the founder of ICE, obviously I'm being sarcastic, then, but not that sarcastic, to be honest with you.
Sarcastic, but not that sarcastic. Again, which is it? Was he being sarcastic or was he not being sarcastic?
Well, I guess it depends on the interpreter. Of course, it was sarcasm because he obviously didn't mean that Barack or Hillary Clinton founded ISIS in the literal sense. In other words, they didn't file the paperwork of incorporation. But he does mean that their policies, and if you play out that entire discussion, he talks about those policies that absolutely gave rise to the formation of ISIS. I mean, this is something that General Flynn had reported that in August 2012, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton ignored the DIA report, which told them if you arm the resistance, you will feed ISIS, and an Islamic State was formed. He said this wasn't a blind eye. This was willful ignoring of the intelligence.
But you know that ISIS actually started in 2004 with AQI, Al-Qaeda in Iraq, and then morphed into, in 2006, Iraq, the Islamic State in Iraq. So this is not something that started during the Obama administration. There is an argument to be made, and I think in these conversations on television, many people have said that there is a path there for Donald Trump, but he's saying that he was sarcastic, but not that sarcastic about something that happened in 2004.
Well, if you're moving into, if you want to go way back, we can look at the troop surge. And after 2007, Al-Qaeda was essentially in ashes. It was Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton who then destroyed the entire rollout by wanting to pull out early, announcing their plans, ignoring intelligence. And that is the reason why ISIS is a global issue
I'm
and not
sorry,
an isolated
Barack Obama
issue.
in 2004, is that what you said?
No, I said afterwards. After the surge, when Al-Qaeda was in ashes, entering Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Remember, we weren't even in Afghanistan by this time. Barack Obama went into Afghanistan, creating another problem. It was Hillary Clinton and her incidents in Libya, which was also a reckless decision to create that vacuum. They armed the rebels, and they're even funding them now.
Okay, so you're saying Barack Obama took the country into Afghanistan post-2009. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is the policies
you just said that we
of
weren't
Barack
in
Obama
Afghanistan.
and Hillary Clinton, that was Obama's war, yes.
Okay, Katrina,
Mr. Trump is saying
we gotta
that
take
the
a quick-
policies of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton,
Okay.
ignoring intelligence, created the hotbed for global terrorists to travel the world under the name of ISIS.
Katrina, I just want to, for factual sake of just correct information, when you said that Barack Obama took the country into Afghanistan, it was not during the, of course, as you know, during the Obama administration when we first went into Afghanistan.
No.
It was shortly after.
We're talking about ISIS specifically.
Okay, but your statement was that Barack Obama took us into Afghanistan and it was his war. It was President Bush who took the country into Afghanistan shortly after 9/11. But I want to get
I thought we were talking about the founding of ISIS. I mean,
Okay.
ISIS came out of the Obama side of the war.
Oh.
Is that not a fact?
No, it is not a fact, because in 2004, as I stated in the last segment, that AQI, Al-Qaeda in Iraq, was started by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, and then in 2006, it morphed into Iraq, the Islamic State in Iraq, and then later became the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria.
Absolutely.
But let me get to
yes, and after the search, but also Victor,
But in 2004, we weren't in the
Barack
Obama
that was
administration.
saying
I think the
this was
facts
also,
here are important.
This was also Obama.
Okay. I'm just going to leave that there. Just going to leave it at that. Because, listen, when you get schooled by CNN, you can blame it on audio issues all you want, because apparently that's what she says. Okay, she made audio issues great again, okay? Listen, she's my spokesperson, Katrina Pearson, okay? She's the Trump spokesperson. Katrina Pearson, she's doing great, okay? She's saying great things. I mean, look, liberal lives matter, okay? She's made lying great again. Listen, when you get schooled by CNN, it's over. Congrats, Katrina. Bravo. I mean, well done. Your boss, Trump, would be proud. I mean, maybe that's where he gets his facts. I mean, maybe you're his fact checker. Wow. Oh. It's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to say any more other than wow. I mean, in the chat room, they're saying she uses bigly words, great words, believe me. Yes. Let's try that over in, let's do that in a couple of different voices. You guys decide which one, who sounds better saying the things that Trump would say. Okay, so we'll start out by saying it like Trump. Listen, okay? She uses bigly words, great words, believe me, okay? She's bigly words, okay? Katrina Pearson. Or we've got, you guys love my my little 7-Eleven guy, my little Quickie Mart. Okay, listen, Katrina Pearson uses bigly words, great words, believe me. Katrina Pearson, Trump's spokesperson. She's great. She's doing it. That just doesn't work. Let's see. What about Christopher Walken? Ow, Katrina Pearson, she uses bigly words. Great words, believe me. Just gonna say it's great words. That would almost work. I think Trump does it best. Trump does Trump best. Army John, I'm gonna put you in the I'm gonna make you do some front back go for showing up late, brother. You need to go out back and do some front back goes. You know what I'm talking about. Showing up late like that. Oh, anyway, yeah, I know what it means to work late. I get it. But thanks, John, for showing up. Even though that's all the time we have for this week. And God willing, the Stafford Voice will be back next week. Oh, I forgot to say this earlier. Next week, we're going to have a guest. This guy is great. He's making being a guest great again, okay? No, it's not Trump. I will be joined with the one and only Jason DeWilkins from the According to Me show. It's going to be great. I'm so looking forward to what Jason is going to be bringing to the table. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about the financial unrest that's happening over in Germany. Jason, above anybody right now, I think is on top of it, and I'm so glad he's agreed to come onto the show next week and talk about it. So, with that being said, we will be back next week with a guest, Jason Wilkins from the According to Me show. I think many of us are going to be slightly offended. However, follow me over on the Twitters at Stafford Voice. Look me up on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Snapchats, wherever. All you got to do is just look for the Stafford Voice. Also, if you want to stay slightly anonymous, you can email any of your questions, comments, or concerns to thestaffordvoice@gmail.com. I want to thank you so much for your time, and until next week, thanks, and God bless.